How old are you, first of all?
Sir, Prabhu?
You're 17?
I'm 20, Prabhu.
Oh, you're 20. Okay, that's good. So you got introduced to Srila Prabhupada's books and ISKCON, huh?
Yes, Prabhu.
And did they try to get you initiated with some guru or some, or did?
Actually, previously in my childhood, my uncle used to join in the ISKCON in his 7th grade only.
Acha.
And because of him, our family also got introduced to Krishna consciousness, Prabhu.
Acha, acha.
But later, when I joined the graduation, undergraduation program,
Yeah.
I was introduced to ISKCON Bangalore
Acha.
through their hostel, bro.
Oh, to the hospital. Acha, acha. Very good. So yes.
Yes,
So how long you've been reading books and studying about philosophy and reading about the history of ISKCON and things like that? Couple of years now?
regarding the history of ISKCON, I have just read from 1 year only.
Oh, 1 year only. Acha. Huh.
And then I don't know before all these guru issues anything else.
Oh,
But later when I came to our hostel, because I think ISKCON Bangalore also divided for that reason only, no, bro.
Right.
Because of them only, I came to know these are the some of the deviations in the ISKCON.
Yeah. So, what have you figured out so far, like about these issues? I mean, you've been in the movement, some time now, and then reading about it, then hearing from us. What have you figured out so far?
Yeah, about ISKCON means about ISKCON or ISKCON Bangalore.
Well, let's start with ISKCON, then we'll go to ISKCON Bangalore.
Yeah. Much means I came to know that before poison case, I still have doubt on it.
Okay.
Because once I asked one ISKCON devotee regarding this, bro. Actually, the first thing I came to know is about that only.
Acha, poison issue. Okay. Now.
Poison issue. Then I asked one devotee, ISKCON Delhi he is from. He told that, see, a pure devotee, Krishna will give the personal protection to a pure devotee. How can he infected by some other person? If Krishna is giving him personal protection, how can you think like that? He told, bro. Actually, I have no answer because they are saying, oh, Prabhu, I told them some audio tapes and some proofs are there, no, some like that.
Yeah.
Even hair samples test something are there, no?
Yes.
And then that Prabhu told, oh, see, we can manufacture anything that is not that difficult. You can create, no? Even that tapes also may be created by some people. We cannot say exactly. If Prabhupada sometimes told, don't give me poison means, for the in sarcastic way, he may be told that we don't know exact context without proof. So that's why don't think all about those things. You just think about your bhakti. That's it. He told Prabhu.
Acha. And then what else? You then about.
And then regarding book changes, bro.
Uh-huh.
So many books are changed, in Nectar of Devotion 3000 something. In Bhagavad Gita also, the main essence, like that, so many changes I have done.
Yeah.
In Bhagavatam, last 2 chapters are not even told by Prabhupada also.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, yes.
Yeah, like that, something. And they are also starting, I think in our regional, near to my locality, there is an ISKCON in Rajahmundry. It is in Andhra Pradesh.
Acha.
I saw that they are selling not only Prabhupada books, but also some children's stories books, which are not Krishna stories or some mundane stories like that.
Oh, wow, wow. Huh.
They are selling some keychains, laughing Buddha. They are placing in their store.
Yeah.
I've seen all that. And also regarding deity worship, also in the in Prasadam they have changed, no, bro.
Acha.
Yeah, at first not to Prabhupada, but they are first directly going to Krishna and then coming back.
Wow.
Something like
so yes, you're saying the discrepancies in what Prabhupada wanted and what they're doing.
Yeah,
And
what he exactly told, they are not following.
yeah,
But somehow, actually, their preaching is going on. So
yeah, the preaching can
that's
go
why,
on. Yes.
yes, true. But I think that 108 temples become now 600 temples now, bro.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, the temples is certainly increasing, but that is
Purity is lacking.
yeah, the temples is increasing, but are people coming to a high level of Krishna consciousness,
Hmm.
or is just a business where the temples are increasing because more money is coming? More books, more keychains are being sold,
Hmm.
things like that. So
Yes, bro. Even some regarding gurus and women. Recently, I read one articles written by Jyotirmayi Devidasi Mataji.
uh,
She's a direct disciple of Prabhupada. I have read that she told that what are the uh, what we call some women. What are the problems that faced by the women during even during Prabhupada's time only after 1970.
uh,
I've read that actually Prabhupada used to treat them like daughters, and later even they are allowed for deity worship also. We got Yamuna Mataji, Govinda Dasi Mataji.
yeah,
Got these many great women, but because of taking some instructions like we cannot hear the sound of the woman also, voice like that. Mm. So because of taking the context strongly, people are making some differences between men and women. That's why previously during before 1970, ISKCON means it is just like a family members. They used to a god sister, god brother, and father, mother, children like that.
yeah, yeah,
But later, it becomes came that leader power
yeah.
difference. Yeah, these things. I think you know very well about this.
Okay.
That's why.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, 1 second. One devotee is calling me. Let me get him
Oh,
online. One
oh
second, please.
yes.
So yes, Prabhu. So there's some devotees are joining. So let me just give him some minutes, few minutes.
Yes.
All right. Let's see. Okay, I think the 10K. So how you saw my the videos? Did you see the videos, or did you see it on Facebook or YouTube, or where did you see it?
From with YouTube only, bro. Actually, that previously I told no, bro. From Prabhupada's disappearance day video. Because of that, I came to know about this channel at first.
Okay, very good. So yeah, we have Istagosthi meetings where people can.
Yeah, and Istagosthi also came. Later in the description, I saw the WhatsApp group.
Uh,
By through that way, I have joined.
acha, very good. So
Did you get Rupa?
yeah, I sent the message. I didn't send the message to in the league for 10K. I guess I forgot. I thought I sent it. Okay, so she should be joining in a few minutes, or as soon as she gets the link.
Hopefully.
Jai. All right. Okay. Okay, Chaitanya Prabhu. His your mother tongue is Telugu and Hindi, or what?
Yes, bro. My mother tongue is Telugu only.
Acha, very good.
Yeah, recently I got a book of Rajashekar Das Brahmachari Prabhu.
Uh,
That Prabhupada in South India.
Jai.
Our temple devotees are selling this.
Ha. You've been staying in a hostel still?
Yes, bro. I'm staying in hostel only.
Okay, okay. I see. Jai. All right. So you asked the question about Kali Yuga, right? Chaitanya Prabhu?
Yes, bro.
You asked the question about Kali Yuga and technology.
Yeah, Kali Yuga and technology. Yeah, I don't know. All the situations are going on. I cannot realize that it is really degrading. I used to forget very much, bro. I need some. Thing. You can help me to really understand the situation that presently we are suffering. Although we are suffering, I am unable to know that I am suffering. That is actually I'm facing. That's why I'm not at all even serious in Krishna consciousness also. Yeah.
So yeah, there's a conversation with Srila Prabhupada and Ellen Greensberg about the future of Kali Yuga, where Prabhupada is saying what's going to be happening in Kali Yuga. So I told you I was going to send you the link, but let me find it, and then I can show it to you. One
Yes.
second, please. Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga. All right, conversations. So I'll show you this tool. I'm not sure if you know about this tool, but I'll show it to you anyways. It is called, you see here, this is called the Bhakti Vedanta database, where you can search about anything you like. Just for example, you're talking about Kali Yuga. So this is a conversation on Winsburg, Kali Yuga for Westerners. So you can see here how many times Kali Yuga comes up. It comes up 303 times in the Bhakti Vedanta database. So you can search like this.
Okay.
And then you were talking about technology also. So you can search about technology also. See, technology comes up like this. See it?
Yes,
So
bro.
you should download this tool and then utilize it for your, spiritual.
Yes, bro. I have that Veda base.
You have this.
Yes, bro.
Yeah.
Yes.
So utilize it, and then you'll get all the answers here.
Sure, bro.
Okay. All right, Prabhu. We got this devotee here, Chaitanya Prabhu. He's living in a hostel in ISKCON, Bangalore, and
In
he's
a hostel?
yes,
Hare
hostel.
Krishna,
Oh,
Prabhu. Please
ISKCON
accept my
Bangalore
humble
means
obeisance.
Madhu Pandits or the other one?
Madhu Pandit Prabhu's, yes.
I didn't know he had a hostel.
Oh,
I was there a few years ago and he didn't have one. He had a hotel, or is that where you're staying?
is it a hostel or hotel, Chaitanya Prabhu?
It's a hostel only, bro.
Hostel, okay.
So what does it
Yeah,
do?
they called it as folk hostel, Friends of Lord Krishna.
Friends of Lord Krishna, hostel.
It's a
They
folk,
named
Narayan.
like that.
It's a what?
It's folk, Friends of Lord Krishna.
Oh, really? You know, my mom helped create Folk,
Oh, Jai.
Friends of Lord Krishna. When I was in Bangalore, I bought a backpack that says Folk on it, Friends of Lord Krishna. Rose Forecash and her husband created Folk as a means of counteracting the deprogrammers that were kidnapping devotees. And she created a backup group that of parents that supported their children or at least tolerated their children being devotees. And my mother was very excited by that, and she joined us. They worked very closely together for many years.
Jai, he's 20 years old, so he was asking some questions about the original books and the edited books. So I guess he.
Could we ask him what's the difference between the hostel and the guest facilities?
The guest facilities are for guests, and the hostel is for students, where they, I guess, do the students pay anything, or is it free, Chaitanya Prabhu?
Oh, bro, it's just like a normal hostel, bro. We need to pay the money.
Oh, okay. So they, yes. Okay.
Actually, they used to take some luxury houses and they make it into the hostels.
Acha. I see.
So how much do you have to pay per day?
It varies, bro. For me, I pay 4,000, but in Bangalore, it about costs 8,000, 7,000 like that.
Per day?
Yes, bro. By now only. Some 7,000 rupees, 8,000 rupees like that.
Per month or per day?
Per month, bro.
Per month.
Yes, bro.
Okay.
Now I had to pay about 1,200 per day to stay in the guest facility.
Guest facility. Okay, I see.
I was just trying to figure out the distinction and who's allowed to stay there.
Huh.
So it looks like it's for students. Huh?
Yeah, for students only. So Chaitanya Prabhu, did you see the difference between the changed books and the unchanged books, the 1972 Macmillan edition versus the book?
Actually, I didn't compare both of the books, bro. But once in your channel, one video is posted, no, bro, that regarding sober realization and self-realization. I have seen the difference between Macmillan edition and the present
you saw
edition.
that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's a very significant.
Personally, I didn't saw that.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
But I actually have the doubt apart from this, bro. That is, we used to say Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhana, bro. That means, can we use whatever abilities we will get, we can use in the service of Krishna, or under the guidance of the spiritual master we have to use, bro? I have that doubt, bro. Because I got that doubt because one of our temple devotee, he actually studying about Ayurveda and astrology. So he also asked me to read all those books. So we can preach the people in such a way. We can call them. We can tell their future. In future, you are going to become like this. If we say like this, means we can attract the people. And then if we invite them, we can introduce some sound healing techniques. In that sound healing technique, we can tell them Hare Krishna Mahamantra, or we can give them Prabhupada mantra box. By that hearing, you can become peaceful. Can we use in this way to preach the Krishna consciousness, bro? I have that doubt only, bro. Yeah. So please kindly help me to understand this doubt.
So you're asking a question that, can I use astrology to attract people?
Yes, bro. Can we use in this way to bring them to Krishna consciousness? Or directly we need to preach that what Prabhupada had said in these books.
So your intention is to kind of tell them about their future and attract them, and then tell them about, oh, okay, you're going to have to get in an accident here, and they get in an accident, and you're like, yes, I told you about this. Now what? So you tell them about the future, and then what you're going to tell them next. For example, I come to you as a student asking about my future, and you tell me, this time you will have an accident, and then nothing happens, right? And,
yes, bro.
And then what you're going to do about it? Are you going to tell them, hey, this accident is going to happen? What is the solution here? How are you going to go forward with this?
Like that only, bro. If we want to, these sufferings are common, though, we need to do like this. Or in another way, bro, if some people who are distressed may come for some peace to the psychiatrist or some counselors, bro. So for them, I think so many healing techniques are present in Ayurveda. So among that, we can use sound healing technique. For that sound healing technique, we can tell them this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, which can heal you from distressed condition, like that saying, and we can introduce them.
Okay, so you're introducing Hare Krishna Maha Mantra like a medicine.
Yes, bro. Just like a sound healing technique.
Uh-huh. Interesting.
Yeah. Can we use in this way, bro? Because
and then once,
actually, yes, bro.
And then the person gets healed. Do you think he's gonna stay?
Actually, the same doubt I got, bro. Whether because when he comes to the movement, he may know that all these things are not there. If he realize like that means he may left the movement. Because one person also told that when I asked him the similar question, he told, Bahunam Janmanamante, only very few fortunate people will come. We need to preach exactly what Prabhupada said. So if they are fortunate, they will come and those people will only stay. We cannot use our mental, some manufactured ways. Like that. I don't know, it is Nirbandha Krishna Sambandha or else something.
So you're gonna attract them to Krishna consciousness by some materialistic endeavor.
Yes, bro.
And then try to give them the medicine.
Yeah.
And then hopefully they come and stay.
Yes, bro. But actually, that Prabhu told that even Ayurveda is also one of the anga of Veda, and all the Vedas are came from Krishna, and then we can use the Vedas also. What is the wrong in that? Even astrology is also one of the part in some Veda, so we can use it also. Like that he told, bro. I don't know what to answer. That's why
what do you think?
Sorry, I was looking at something. What was the question?
Oh, the question was that this Prabhu Chaitanya Prabhu, he's trying to attract people by reading the astrological chart and telling them, hey, you're going to have a difficulty here in this period. And then when they go through the difficulty, are you going to introduce the Maha Mantra when you read the astrological chart, or are you going to let them go in the difficulty and have them come back to you and then tell them? How are you going to do this? Chaitanya Prabhu?
Yes, bro. Yeah. It is just like a psychiatrist, bro. When some people come to psychiatrist, they ask for solution for their problems, bro. At that time, we will introduce. So to preach the people, generally people will attract what gonna happen in the future, no, bro.
Okay. They're trying to attract people with astrology, and then.
Yes, that's it, bro. That is the main point. Attract the people through astrology. Yes.
The thing is that Srila Prabhupada denounces astrology. He says it's not necessary. But on the other side, people that aren't devotees tend to be attracted to, having their fortunes told, so it could work.
Astrology is useful if you want to know what influence the planets of your body. That has nothing to do with your soul. But in terms of the body, if you take birth, you might want to know what periods you're going to go through, when you're going to be under the thraldom of Saturn. You might want to know whether or not you should marry this person or that person. There's all sorts of reasons to do astrology without putting your faith in it. Just look at it like a roadmap and use it to go help chart your journey in your body while the soul becomes Krishna conscious. Is that okay?
Yeah, true. Okay. Yes. Can we use it, bro? That I got. Can we use for preaching? Hare Krishna, bro.
Yes, you're asking, can it be used for preaching?
Yeah. Can we use this?
How would you use it for preaching?
Yeah, just like when we read the astrology, we came to know something. So if we shall go to the people nearby and we can tell them what is their qualities, what is their character, and what is the difficulties they are going to face.
Then do you do their complete Vastu chart right on the street? How do you do it?
Yeah, some techniques that Prabhu told. With the name only, we can tell their character with the starting letter of their name. So if we can tell them like that, they will definitely get surprised and they want to know more about us. So they will definitely, in order to know more about us, they will come to us. So at that time, we can preach them Krishna consciousness. So in order to attract them, we can use the astrology in this way. And
Well, you can
another way is
attract in so
to,
many ways too. I mean,
yes, bro.
if they want to see beautiful deity worship, that will attract them. If they want to take prasadam, that will attract them. You know, there's so many things that will attract people. Astrology is certainly one of them, but it's very hard for me to imagine how astrology, which calculates your material body's life, will apply to your learning Krishna consciousness.
Yes, bro. Yeah. Just for the sake of attraction, then we can use astrology. Bro.
Well, then
Or,
it depends how you use it, I suppose. You can't tell a person your astrology tells you to become a devotee, because your
yes, bro.
astrology will never tell you. Well, astrology could say that you have an aptitude for transcendental knowledge or something, but what if the person doesn't?
Okay. Got it, bro.
Yeah, what if the
I'm not
astrology?
criticizing. I mean, anything can be used in Krishna service.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yes, bro. Got it. Thank you,
Is this
bro.
one of Madhu Pandit's programs?
No.
That is not. It is actually his individual, bro. Individually thought about it. But for that, he is particularly
But
reading
it's
some
not
astrology books also.
it's not an official Bangalore program.
No, it is not ISKCON Bangladesh program.
Oh, it's an independent program that they're trying to attract people with astrology by, I guess, telling about the future, and they'll be surprised, be like, "Oh, this happens. How do you know about that?"
Well, it depends. I would say it depends entirely on how they do it. If you look at the person's chart, say, looks like you're going to go through a very difficult period of loss and families dying, whatever happens in your life, this is a good time. Your best protection is to chant Hare Krishna, and that will help you get through that period of time. It may not affect your losing family members or money, but it will help you navigate your life while these things happen. I would say you could do that.
Yes, bro. Got it. Okay. I got my doubt got cleared up, bro. But once in one quote, I read that we should use the kirtan prasadam only as our attracting things. In one quote, I have
Well,
read.
we have
Bro.
so many ways to attract people, and the main way to attract people is to be able to become a devotee of the Lord. You know, if a person understands that this material body will go, you see, in this Kali Yuga, everyone is going down. How can I say that? Even a pious Brahmin from a good family is going down because there's no effective jagya for karma. Karma meaning going up. All there is vikarma, how to go down. I mean, if you go along in daily life in any country, unfortunately, including India, everyone is gradually going down to a lesser birth, a lesser human birth, or maybe even no longer human birth. Everyone's going down because there's no jagya. Lord Chaitanya 500 years ago said there's only one jagya, Sankirtan jagya, chanting the holy name. There's no point in trying to go after other objectives to try to improve your life. In the Vedic culture, the Brahmins helped you go to the heavenly planets to live comfortably. Instead of being neighbors as you are in Bangalore, you'll be neighbors with Indra in Indraloka. That can be done, but not in Kali Yuga. And Lord Chaitanya made that abundantly clear. It's no point in trying to do that.
Yeah, thank you, bro. I got clear understanding.
No point in trying to do that.
Bro?
But if you want to tell people, look, you're suffering, and if you chant and you have wonderful karma, you'll become happy if you chant. And if you're looking at you're heading towards a karmic disaster, then chant, and that will mitigate much of the bad effect of the disaster. It won't change the material circumstance, but it'll change your perception of the material circumstance. You know? So that's good. So in other words, I guess the final thing I would say, and Ramachandra could say, and Rupa Manjari could say, but the final thing I would say is it's neither better nor worse than the way you do it. If you do it to help a person get through their troubled life and chant Hare Krishna, that's good. If you're doing it just to get them interested in who they're going to marry next week, that's something else.
Yeah, I got it, bro. Thank you, bro.
Hare Krishna. Okay, now back to Ramachandra and Rupa.
Jai. Okay. So anyone who's watching this on Facebook and YouTube, if you'd like to kindly join, please join the WhatsApp group in the description, and then the link is posted in our group. So, Jai. Okay, Chaitanya Prabhu, any more realizations you want to share or questions you have?
I will. Actually, I had, bro, but I'm
Please go
unable to
ahead.
memorize them.
Go ahead.
Actually, I'm unable to memorize them, bro.
Memorize what?
Memorize means I'm unable to remember them.
Oh, you okay. I see. All right,
Yeah.
no problem.
Yes, bro.
Okay. Yesterday, Narayan and I were speaking about parading the guru. For example, there's a guru here in Sacramento, and he's doing programs here and there. His disciples are taking him here and there, and he's reading from Prabhupada's books, and getting people to ask questions. But these types of preaching, parading the guru here and there, and we discussed at some length that these people who are coming to the gurus, they have some desire something to get from the guru, some material desire. Right, Narayan Prabhu, we were discussing this yesterday.
Yeah, basically, it's not, they think they have a spiritual desire. I'm hoping that if I meet this guru, I will get a benefit, and they're thinking a spiritual benefit. They think, but actually, they're not interested in a spiritual benefit. If they were, they'd move into a temple or chant, spend their day chanting Hare Krishna. But if they're interested in a benefit, that means I want my wife to be prosperous and happy and beautiful. I want my children to be good intelligence and educated. I want my job to get better and better. All these things we desire, so they go to the guru to hopefully he will, by his presence and by my gifts to him, will provide spiritual, a spiritual
emancipation.
What?
Emancipation.
Yeah, well, not even a spirit. Yeah, but just help me, boost me along in the direction that I think that my good desires deserve. Now, here that raises a deeper question. Why do I think that my desires deserve to be satisfied? People don't ask themselves that question. People, a woman puts on, the women in general put on billions of dollars worth of makeup every year because they want their desires to be satisfied. A man works out at the gym and does so many things, gets the right haircut, trims his beard properly, and that's because he wants some material satisfaction, generally speaking. Now, if that is the case, if people are looking for satisfaction, material satisfaction, why wouldn't they go to a guru? Maybe there's some magic potion there that I'm missing that the guru will supply me, and that way I will get my satisfaction. But what I'm bringing up is that they're missing the point. They are jivas, they are soul, pure spirit soul, part and parcel of Krishna. When we say Aham Brahmasmi, we should realize what we're saying. We're saying Aham Brahmasmi means I am not this body, I am spirit soul. So it's not the body that desires anything. You can feed the body pretty much anything. Look at the world, look at what people eat. The body is fed all sorts of stuff that will provide the right chemistry, the right minerals, the right whatever for the body. Fat for the energy to burn up fat. All that is all part of the mechanism. It's just like your car. When your car is driving, if you need gasoline, you have to stop and get some from the gas station. And then if you're look at your oil level, if it's too low, you have to add oil. That's all the body is. That has nothing to do with desire. It has to do with mechanical function. So everything pertaining to the body is simply mechanical function, except that we identify with the body. And by identifying with the body, we project ourselves as the soul into the body and believe that we are the body that we're in. Isn't that a fact? Isn't that what we're doing right now? So it's sort of like when a person goes to a movie theater film, they're sitting in their chair, somebody's flickering 35 millimeter over their head somewhere, and they're looking at the screen, they're laughing and they're crying according to the movie. Why? Because they identify. So that's the same thing that it's like the person in the movie theater is just like the jiva. He's identifying with the people on the screen. The people on the screen, including his own body, is a part of the screen. He's identifying with his body. And he's sitting next to his girlfriend. And he wants her to like the movie because he's thinking of maybe we should go out on a second date. And all of that is going on because of identifying, the soul identifying with the body. So if we want to benefit, we have to realize that identifying with the body is not going to produce any satisfaction. But when people go to see a guru, they believe in their body as the self. So they want something for themselves. That means they want something for their body, right?
Yes.
That's about it. Yeah. So we have to take into account that when people go to visit a guru, they want something. And the guru knows they want something. And the rule is give something money or something valuable to the guru, a watch or a pen, give him something nice, or a piece of land, or build him a temple. Whatever you want to do, you do it in order to be able to feel that you are now deserving a benediction, and you are hoping, if not believing, that that benediction will open the door to greater fortune as you go on in life. So it's really to get back to Ramachandra's original point, people go to the guru because they have a desire to get something from the guru. Therefore, they pay money to the guru so they will get that something. And they don't even know what it is. But basically, they want good fortune, happy marriage, nice children, good job, all bodily stuff. Nobody approaches the guru because they want to give up the body or give up being bodily attached. They want to improve their situation and make it better and have something to believe in that works. So we can go ahead and serve Krishna, but we don't have to run to the guru to say, give me something, give me security, give me a place to stay, give me give me a promise that I'll go back to Godhead in this lifetime or something like that. The guru can't promise that. No guru did, including Prabhupada.
Jai. So
Haribol.
We have a devotee joining, Diksha Chaturvedi Prabhu. Prabhu, can you introduce yourself a little bit about where you are, how you got to the Zoom meeting?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Jai.
I'm from India, And I follow Bhakta Prabhuji's YouTube videos, and there are a lot of clarification I got about the Diksha Guru and Siksha Guru, and what is going on in ISKCON these days. And earlier I was also associated, not for a very long time, but a couple of months only. And currently I am with HKM.
Huh.
So I heard about the this astrology thing which they are about to introduce
Huh.
to attract people. So my question is like you said, ki it's we should stick to our principle, and we should stick to the what Srila Prabhupada has introduced. We should not devise our own ways and to preach and attract people. But many organizations are doing so. So, Prabhuji, why is that deviation?
No, no, bro. Maybe you can answer that. Why are people using these different ways of attracting people to the movement, like this astrology and?
Oh, well, this is not, in one, if you're selling books, the bona fide original books published by Prabhupada, people, I've never been a book distributor, but a lot of book distributors say all sorts of wild things just to get someone to buy the book in the hope that they will read the book and thereby become self-realized eventually. So why not simply preach straight on? Actually, we're going in that direction ourselves with the League for 10K, 10,000 years of Golden Age of Kali. What we're doing is we're going to be advocating, chanting, making sure every living being, every jiva, including humans, gets to hear the holy name of Krishna. We want the ants to hear Krishna's name. We want the trees where the soul is in the root, the jiva is in the root. We want the decorative plants, we want the foxes and the dogs and the cats and the worms. We want them all to hear the holy name of Krishna once, because if they do, they will go back to Godhead eventually. Whereas if they don't, they may never go back to Godhead.
Yeah.
There's no guarantee.
Actually, if you're very expert in presenting Srila Prabhupada's books, people have the experience of change of bodies from boyhood to youth to old age. So if you simply repeat what Prabhupada has said, and the people buy the book, I always use the example as the embodied soul continuously passes, from boyhood to youth to old age, so people can understand it. And you show them the picture, the body's changing, and they'll be like, has your body changed? Mine has changed, yours has changed, everyone's body is changing. So now who are we now? You ask them. Hare Krishna, Matthew Prabhu. Nice to see you. So if you ask them the question, who are you? They say, I don't know. So well, here's a book. Why don't you find out about it? So either they'll take it or they'll be like, no, I'm a Christian. Oh. So it's very simple if you simply present it to them. So you don't have to make anything up. Just share your realization of, you're not this body. Body's just changing. So which body are you? Are you this body, that body? What's missing from the dead body at the time of death? There's obviously something missing, because they're using the argument that, hey, my dad has left, my father has left. Well, his body's there. What has left? Right?
Well, this is wonderful, because she asked, you wanted me to answer the question. I answered it badly. I did it relativistically and logically and practically. You are a book distributor, and you answered it perfectly. So I thank you very much.
So Prabhupada's books is, we have to read Prabhupada's books, not only read it, but see how the philosophy applies in our lives. Our bodies are changing, right? Everyone's body here has changed from boyhood to youth to old age, right? So if everyone is going through that, why can't you tell them the truth? So what is changing? The body's changing. And the consciousness is a symptom of the soul. And as the body progresses, either up or down, the consciousness similarly is changing.
Right, Prabhuji.
So
And Prabhu, I would like to say that you have asked the question well, and I hope that we have given you answers that are worthy of your question.
Yes, Prabhuji. Right.
Did you
Jai.
mention which part of India you're from?
From Lucknow. It's in Uttar Pradesh, near Delhi.
Yes, Lucknow. They were famous, at least at one time, for making Lucknow saris with little loops in them, right?
Right. Right, Prabhuji.
Jai, are you a student?
No, Prabhuji. I was earlier doing a job, but after pandemic, I left the job, and I'm currently into Srila Prabhupada's book and doing a little bit, my own discovery, reading Srila Prabhupada's book and a lot of information and
Amazing.
that actually changed the way I looked at things. Earlier, I was like you may say a pessimistic or anything, but with coming in contact with Srila Prabhupada's books, my life has completely been changed. So I don't think so there is any need to devise any kind of ways, because if you read them sincerely enough, you'll get all the answers. Though may not a lot of answer you'll read, eventually read all the books and get all the answers, no, but step by step when you start reading and you'll get your answers, and that actually helps. So
Right.
but all you have to do is dive deeper into the ocean he has left for us.
Jai, very good. Amazing. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. Wow. You have realized the essence of Prabhupada's books.
Yes, and we are hoping that you will join us
Please.
for not just tonight, but many, many times.
Yes.
Because
Sure.
we're cracking the code of the next phase of Lord Chaitanya's movement.
Jai.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So,
Sure, Prabhuji.
so you've been following
and there
and
are
reading.
also other very intelligent young ladies on this program sometimes also. There's
Yes.
a lady named Shreya. And what was the name of the other lady that came on board?
Her name was I'm forgetting her wonderful name. She was Lakshmi Prabhu. Lakshmi. Yes.
Well, that's a wonderful name.
Yes.
So yes. So we welcome you, and we are inspired by your Shraddha. And I would like to point out, Prabhu, what is your name? What is your name?
Diksha.
Diksha?
Yes,
Yes.
Prabhu.
Diksha. Yes.
Diksha?
Yes.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes.
Is that your birth name?
Yes, Prabhu.
That is amazing.
Wow.
Diksha means initiation into spiritual life.
Yes, Prabhu.
As you know, right? Of course. Well, you must be coming from a long line of very spiritual people.
Yeah. Yeah.
My mother is spiritual. My father is not. but it's all like my mother used to worship Lord Ramchandra from her early days. So somehow or the other, it came.
Jai. Amazing.
Oh, that's great. And now, if I may say so, on behalf of Rupa Manjari, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah. Can we say to Diksha Prabhu, can we say, you can, if you like, you can welcome us as a second family also, and you can work with us the way you work with your family, and we will try to support you in every way spiritually. Is that
Yes,
right,
Prabhu?
Rupa?
Yes, Prabhu.
Jai.
Rupa, do you agree to that idea?
Yes.
Yes, Prabhu.
Rupa has many, many years as a devotee of Krishna, and she can be very good at developing insights.
Thank
If you
you.
don't mind me asking, how old are you? You sound about like in your mid-20s, huh?
Yes, Prabhu. I'm 26.
26. Okay. Very good.
Pretty good guess. Well, that's
Jai.
amazing.
Yes.
And does anyone else in your family as interested in Prabhupada's books as you are?
Prabhu, we have a very nuclear family. My mama, father, and me. Just but yes, many friends of mine are interested, and they are listening to lectures or attending classes or HKM or ISKM. So they are doing like that.
Wow, very nice, very nice. Yeah, association is key, you know.
Yes, Prabhu. Because nowadays we are not able to physically go to temple due to pandemic and not have that kind of association. And in my area, it's called Lucknow. So I don't go there because as Srila Prabhupada mentioned in his book, na, because like with example of Bhishma Deva, he chose the company of Kauravas, so he had to be slain in the battlefield, so we cannot
Deviate.
associate with the people who are not like-minded.
Very, very, very powerful realization
Yeah,
that you have there.
powerful and
Precise.
impeccable.
Yeah, very precise.
Excellent. So please continue. You're young. Bring it with you until you're 120 years old and deliver every living entity you can.
Aye.
To deliver a soul, you just have to hear, a soul is delivered if they hear the Maha Mantra once uttered from the lips of the pure devotee, meaning by Lord Chaitanya through up to Srila Prabhupada. And
Yes,
that's
Prabhu.
all we need to go. We don't need to go further than Srila Prabhupada.
Yes, Prabhu.
Ramachandra, can you unmute Madan Mohandas?
Madan Mohandas. Okay, let me see. Has to unmute. All right. All right.
Prabhu.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Madan Mohan Prabhu. My apologies to you. I changed the settings. I thought we were gonna get some people who were gonna be rowdy. So let me.
No,
change.
I need to apologize to all of you.
Why? For
Because
what?
I found the deviation.
Of?
Did you hear me?
Deviation of what?
It's a Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, chapter 33, verse 7. That's a.
Okay. Kindly elaborate.
Srila Prabhupada states that anyone can purify the fallen conditioned souls of their fallen condition. And so, yeah, that's I'm gonna have to like really.
What do you mean by that? It sounds fascinating, but I don't quite get the gist of what you're saying.
Well, basically, I went to the Gaudiya Math in Houston.
Okay.
And I met one of Srila Prabhupada's disciples, Bhagavat Maharaj. And he was saying that he doesn't listen to Krishna Balaram Swami because there's a deviation, and that's it, right there. Where in Srila
Bhagavat Maharaj, he was given sannyas by Narayan Maharaj, right?
Was he?
Is the same Bhagavat?
I think so. Yeah.
Big chunky guy?
Yeah.
Well, that's the same one.
So
he's a dear friend of mine.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So you realize that, and I mean, so what is the deviation on Krishna Balaram Swami's part?
Dear friend of Rupa Goswami, Rupa Manjari also.
Jai.
So what was the deviation on? You realized? I'm not quite sure that anyone can purify. It doesn't have to be a what? I mean,
a specific body
when you
type.
Say
like
deviation, could you
Prabhupada says like
state
specifically
what the
that there's
statement
this
is?
type of.
You say that. What is the statement that you call deviation?
Okay, so where Srila Prabhupada states, which has been deviated from by Krishna Balaram Swami, is that there is this Smarta Brahmanas. It's in that text.
Smarta Brahmanas. Okay, yes, you're coming to the right stuff right now. Smarta Brahmanas, right? Go ahead.
Yeah. So basically, they're saying that like only they are able to
purify because they're born in a Brahmin family, or they're from this lineage, from this place, that place. So that is a actual deviation that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati vehemently fought against these caste Brahmanas and established.
Well, let's keep going, and I want to hear what he's going to say next.
Go ahead.
Well, I mean, that's the deviation that I found. But I also want to
Can you
mention that
sort of
I
like
took a
isolate the deviation and explain its impact?
deviation. Okay.
Okay. So can you clearly define what's the truth and what's the deviation?
According to Srila Prabhupada, anyone is capable of doing these Vedic sacrifices if they have the purity. So it's just based on realization and advancement, not bodily birth.
Acha.
Yeah, you don't need a physical or what. And the problem is, if you're demanding a lineage and purity and knowing millions of shlokas by heart, or thousands of them by heart, the question is, okay, and what happens when you are 95 years old? Where are you going to find someone to replace you that's of the same qualification? If that's what's required.
So, Madan Mohan Prabhu, are you saying that you've rejected Krishna Balaram Swami?
No, just that I need to talk to him about that and clear it up and like see like how far he of that point like he means, and like if he can like clear it up. I mean,
well, that
it's that, like I'm not like seeking him out anymore. His association, like unless like if he wants to reach out,
because you're very intelligent and you understand Prabhupada clearly, because Prabhupada was speaking to you, not to necessarily to Indians or Gujarati's. He was speaking to people like you and me, who could understand what he was saying without the cultural trappings. Like it's like if I was raised in an ultra-religious core of a belief, I would go along with that belief that I was raised with, but somebody may have something better and I won't understand it because I'm trapped by my own dogma.
Yes. This is precisely this ISKCON model, the dogma that they're giving through their disciples course and this and that. So we reject these things here.
Yeah.
In this
now, in terms of what you feel or your interpretation, your understanding of what Prabhupada said, according to that, I would say I'm very encouraged by that. I'd like to, Ramachandra, can you write down the chapter and verse so we have it?
333:7.
333:37. Okay.
333, just a 7.
Oh, 333. Okay.
No, no need jumping ahead. So,
Jai.
So what we are concluding is that Prabhupada has made it clear that anyone who hears the Maha Mantra once from an authorized source, the chanting should be heard from the lips of a pure devotee for full effect, right? Chanting from the lips of non-devotees should be avoided. Just as milk touched by a serpent has a poisonous effect. As he put, I think that must be the writing of Bhaktisiddhanta that he used on that record, because it doesn't sound like Prabhupada's usual sentence structures. But in any event, having said that, Prabhupada says that if you hear the sound of Krishna's name, what am I saying? Prabhupada, Lord Chaitanya said, if you hear the holy name once, properly chanted by the right person, you're going back to Godhead. It's just a matter of time. You're going to go back to Godhead, And then the other night, just 2 nights ago, we sort of narrowed that down and saying, wait, if Lord Chaitanya is come in the mood of Radharani, and Radharani, he wants to know what Radharani is experiencing in Krishna Loka, right? This is Lord Chaitanya, who came to destroy the disciplic successions of the Hindu religions.
Yes.
Why? There's many quotes. I don't remember them all exactly, but I've read many quotes where it was clear that Lord Chaitanya came because the whole thing was broken. And why was it broken? Well, you can say that when Lord Krishna appeared 5,000 years ago in Vrindavan, and at the end, when Yudhisthira declared him by the Rajasuya sacrifice, named him as the most honored person, which made it possible for us in this yuga, 5,000 years later, to worship Krishna as a deity, whereas before he was a coward boy, he had wives, he had killed his uncle, all those are good things. He killed Putana. Those are pastimes, not deity statuses. So Yudhisthira took the trouble and the pain, because he hated fighting in wars, believe it or not. He took the pain to make Krishna honored as the Rajasuya, meaning the most honored person. So from that point onward, there were kings, it's not like when the Kali Yuga began, the lights snapped off and there were no more kings. There were lots of kings. India was completely covered with kings and Brahmins and Vaishyas and Shudras and good dharma and good behaviors. And people were making advancement in their in their Vedic way, somewhat, not much because of Kali Yuga, but not like before, but they were. But then came a time when the Muslims, the Mughals, came in and invaded India. Well, that means that the line of disciplic succession was lost. Why? Because when the Mughals came in, if they had had full Brahminical, good, real Kshatriyas, full Brahminical power, they would have they would have kicked the Muslims back to Persia.
Yeah. Yes.
Why not? Bang! Hey, get out of here! You're not welcome. But they didn't, and the Mughals could not be stopped from colonizing in India. And then the British came and made it into a hideous mess. Just exploited the Indian culture, took the Indian gold, turned Chakravarti into Chatterjee. I mean, they were so rude and disrespectful, and they were big meat eaters. And then, after that, getting rid of the British, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, not Gandhi in my opinion, they did something even worse than the British. The British had the country running well. As soon as Congress Party came in with Nehru, and then Indira Gandhi after him, the whole country went to pieces. And corruption was the order of the day. They would spend millions of dollars for a road, but they'd allocate millions of dollars for a road. This I'm getting from the Queen of Jaipur Maharani, the Maharani of Jaipur, the Queen of Jaipur, wrote a book and described how the Congress people, their relatives, would be given a contract to build a road, given plenty of money to make a first-class road. They would embezzle 90% of it and make a really crappy road instead.
Mm-hmm.
So that was even more Kali Yuga. So Lord Chaitanya's appearance was because the guru system was finished. The guru system was finished. What do we have after Lord Chaitanya? Simply a line that comes through, ultimately through, well, it was broken again, but what I'm saying, Bhaktivinoda Thakur revived it. Gorkasur Das Babaji made it possible to preach in foreign lands by being a contrarian, which you can't preach in foreign lands unless you're going against your own religion, namely Vaishnavism. And then Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati came, did a lot of very weird contrarian things while being the strictest Brahmin on the face of the earth. And then Prabhupada came, beautiful, sweet, lovable, kind, nice, adorable Prabhupada came and did everything about contrarian. He did everything backwards. And Krishna Balaram Swami faults him for much of that, what he did. He doesn't like it because he thought it wasn't authentic. Well, darn right it wasn't authentic. If it was authentic, he wouldn't have gone to America. If he'd gone to America, he couldn't have initiated anyone. But Lord Chaitanya said no hard and fast rules doesn't mean you can chant any melody you like. No hard and fast rules means that anyone can chant the whole Hare Krishna mantra without restriction. You don't have to be from a Brahmin family. You can be a malacha, a meat eater. You can be a murderer and chant the Hare Krishna mantra and become purified in the process and become redeemed and become a kanista adhikari, which means that you can live the life. 4 regulated principles, deity worship, reading from Shastra, Prabhupada's books, from kirtan, classes, japa, all of those things, even a mass murderer could do it and be redeemed.
Right. Okay.
I'm not so sure if Krishna Balaram Swami, like, really, I haven't seen where gone so far as to say that it's like actually.
Your voice is cutting out.
There's some truth to that one must be like in.
Your voice is cutting out, and you have a very
No,
bad
it
reception.
couldn't, because if he accepts you as a disciple, that means he accepts the way Prabhupada did. So I'm not saying that, but he could have. I'm just going by things I've read that he said, and that's not very good in a sense, because I'm only seeing what I'm seeing. I don't see other things that he's.
Yeah, we have to talk to him again.
Exactly. But it seems to me that he felt that the ISKCON Brahmins were not properly trained as Brahmins.
Okay. We have another question from a devotee here. His name is, his last name is Sharma, and he asked this question which we have dealt with many times. He's asking, I wanted to ask questions regarding initiations in the present condition. How one should take initiation? How one should take initiation, from whom, from which group?
Oh, this is not a person that's on our group, but a person that's asking a question of our group.
No, this person is in our Zoom meeting right now. His name is Prabhu. Can you introduce yourself? Vinayaka Sharma.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. I'm Vinayak from. I'm right now in Japan, and I'm from India, in Jaipur. So, throughout my journey in Krishna consciousness, I have been to almost all the groups that are popular in Krishna consciousness. There are a lot of organizations, a lot of people in this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement. So I came to Krishna consciousness due to the grace of Prabhupada and his books. And I had this doubt, like, because somehow or other we need to take initiations. And so in the present moment, like, which group should we choose to take initiations? Because if we go for like Ritviks, there are pretty around 4 or 5 different organizations that are into that. There are ISKCONs, Gaudiya Maths, and many organizations.
Haribol, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Yes. You're speaking clearly.
Okay, I just wanted to mention that I did take initiation from Siddhanti Maharaj, no Diksha like fire yagni or anything, just Harinam initiation, and he gave me a mantra.
Who's speaking?
I am.
This is Matthew Prabhu, Madan Mohan Prabhu.
Yeah, I turned off the video because I got bad connection, but I just wanted to mention that Siddhanti Maharaj, he's served under.
Okay.
His spiritual master was Bhakti Pramod Puri. And he's also served under Srila Prabhupada and Narayan Maharaj.
Okay. So there was a devotee that asked that question, was explaining that he was in Japan. So he asked, in the present condition, how should we take initiation, from whom, from which group?
Yeah, because I wanted
I think, what we're concentrating on with the, we've been concentrating on with the League for the 10,000 Years of Golden Age of Kali. We're concentrating on not so much the personality of the Guru, but the task to be done according to the Guru. Now, I took personal initiation from Srila Prabhupada in September 20th, 1967, and never had any reason to doubt or wish I hadn't. even though there's so many things in ISKCON that don't sort of make my teeth grind. But at the same time, Prabhupada created the iṣṭa-goṣṭhī platform by which anyone that joins and initiated or not can chant Hare Krishna, see the deity, worship the deity, take prasadam, follow the four regulative principles. All of these things done, they are separated from the material world because they're on the Brahman platform. Iṣṭa-goṣṭhī means Brahman platform. So it's not really necessary to take initiation to be on the Brahman platform. And it's not really necessary to take initiation right now to become delivered from birth and death. Why? Because delivered from birth and death, according to Lord Chaitanya, if you utter the holy name of Krishna once, you're going to go back to Godhead. So what's the need? What will a guru give you that you don't already have? That's my question. So now, what do you think?
Yes, Prabhu, that I can understand. But however, in case of preaching, if we want to like open some kind of centers and then attach some devotees with the temple services and those kind of work, then if some devotees want to remain attached with Srila Prabhupada's movement,
I know
so
what you're saying. And as far as Ritvik temples are concerned, we are busy arguing that the final order, which is the basic thesis for the Ritviks, or those they call themselves Ritviks, actually Tamal Krishna introduced the term Ritvik. Prabhupada, what did Prabhupada call them? Rupa? Is she still here?
Officiating
Rupa Manjari?
acharyas.
officiating.
Oh, yeah.
Did you hear?
Yeah.
Initiating acharyas, yeah.
No, officiating acharyas.
Officiating acharyas, yes. So Prabhupada called them that. Tamal Krishna called them Ritviks because he knew the devotees had never heard the word Ritvik before. And yet, if you look up the word Ritvik, it's amusing because it means it's the eldest son of a certain type of Brahmin who does a certain type of puja. That's the literal meaning. The assumed meaning is that a person who acts in behalf of someone, like Prabhupada took initiation, sannyas initiation from his godbrother Keshava Maharaj, and then someone performed the initiation ceremony for sannyas. That meant he did the fire sacrifice, but in behalf of Keshava, who was sitting right there. So that was, you could call it a Ritvik sannyas initiation that Prabhupada took. So it doesn't have any weight to it at all, because before that Prabhupada had the temple presidents performing the fire sacrifices. And so that meant that even when he was here, he had Ritviks in the form of temple presidents performing all the fire sacrifices. He had 5,000 devotees. Disciples, can you imagine how many fire sacrifices you have to be doing in a single day to acquire that many disciples, to initiate that many disciples? So it was a no big deal. It was a way of controlling some highly uncontrollable people, namely the Ritviks, but not to get stuck there. What we're saying here is, if you chant the holy name of Krishna once, the mantra, Maha Mantra once, you will go back to Godhead. That was stated by Prabhupada many times and stated by Lord Chaitanya. So if you're going to go back to Godhead, okay, you were saying that you need a guru. You don't need a guru, but you need a society, and they all have gurus in them if you want to preach in a group. And that's true. But you can join a group without taking initiation. There are many people who have joined ISKCON and stay there 10, 20 years without taking initiation. You don't have to take initiation, but you can function in the group. But basically, ISKCON is Prabhupada said, ISKCON is my body. So if you are with ISKCON is in rather miserable shape right now, But whether you go to a Ritvik one or I would not go to the Gaudiya Math ones because they're not directly empowered by Bhaktisiddhanta to do what Prabhupada did. But ultimately, we're not looking at Guru. What we're looking at is message of the Guru. And the message of the Guru, in our case, is Prabhupada. You don't need a Guru after Prabhupada because his message is loud and clear. Broadcast the holy name of Krishna into every town and village. You don't need a Guru to tell you to do that. Lord Chaitanya said it. Prabhupada said it.
Yes,
Siddhanta said it. So you don't need anything. If you want the association of devotees, move in with them or move next to them or visit them. That's fine. But you don't have to take initiation from anywhere or listen to anyone who claims to be guru, because to be a guru means you must be a resident of Krishna Loka. Uttama Adhikari. If you know, the Kanistha Adhikari is regular members of religious groups like ISKCON. Not religious groups, spiritual groups like ISKCON. ISKCON is the best probably example of the Kanistha Adhikari. Then you go to the next step is Madhyam Adhikari, is a transitional stage where you graduate from material, where you graduate from purified body consciousness, as everybody is in the temple. They're still body conscious, they just have a purified body consciousness. And then the next step is after Madhyam Adhikari is Uttama Adhikari. That means you become a resident of Krishna Loka. It's not that immediate. It takes work to get there through the Madhyam Adhikari platform. So you can do that. You can be chanting. You don't have to worry about Guru, in other words. Just worry about spreading the holy name of Krishna, because Prabhupada, if you help others go back to Godhead, your going back to Godhead will be speeded up rapidly, I assure you. If you make a program that everyone you meet, all you do is speak of Krishna, then your going back to Godhead will be quickly achieved. Whereas if you chant to a plant or thousands of births before they become a Uttama, before they go back to Godhead.
We have a hand raised of Diksha Chaturvedi. Prabhu, can you want to say something?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Go ahead.
Prabhuji,
Haribo.
right now, Prabhuji said कि initiation is not important, but in one purport of Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya 15.1.15.108, here it says, Srila Prabhupada explains that according to Vaishnava regulative principle, one must be initiated as a Brahmana. The Hari Bhakta Vilasa 2.6 quotes the following injunction from the Vishnu Yamla: unless one is initiated by a bona fide spiritual master, all his devotional activities are useless. A person who is not properly initiated can descend again into the animal species.
That's excellent. Now, take into account that Prabhupada authorized and actually practiced during his lifetime having the temple presidents doing the initiation. Is there any reason why ISKCON could be, or any group, could be without any gurus, but simply follow Prabhupada?
Right.
You see what I mean? They can follow Prabhupada and take initiation from, if they can have the Diksha, yes, but they can have it via a temple priest. Who is a temple priest? It's the one that does the death ceremony, Shraddha, marriage ceremony, the Anaprasana ceremony for babies. You have the 4 months old, and Diksha. It's pretty much all the same prayers, the same mantras, and same fire sacrifice, same practice. You can't tell them apart by looking at them. And sometimes Prabhupada would combine these functions.
Yeah, deity worship and initiations. I've seen them. Yes.
Yeah. So yes, initiation. Yes, Diksha is vital. But if you take initiation according to Prabhupada's, how he practiced it, even when he was present, you'll be taking initiation from Prabhupada, whether he's present or not. because there were so many people that took Diksha from Prabhupada and never met him at all. You know,
Right, Prabhuji.
they never said hello to Srila Prabhupada. A lot of devotees in Montreal, Canada, never met Prabhupada, but they all took Diksha by mail, and it was done by a priest in Vancouver that would perform the ceremony.
Right, Prabhuji. So now, like in ISKCON, they have made self-proclaimed gurus, and when like there are one Prabhuji told na कि are many organizations like Madhu Pandit Prabhuji's organization and other Ritvik organization. So they are giving initiation on behalf of Srila Prabhupada as a Ritvik. So do we approach them for taking initiation?
Sure. I mean, if they're initiating on behalf of Prabhupada, whether they do it sitting on a big chair or whether the temple of the temple priest who does the wedding ceremonies does it sitting on the floor, doesn't matter. The main thing is that you're being initiated into the Vaishnava Sampradaya as a disciple of Srila Prabhupada.
Right. Very simple.
But even the Ritviks tend to get carried away with themselves and want to practically be worshipped like ISKCON gurus. The problem, if I may put in a nutshell, ISKCON is Prabhupada's body. He said so. But it's become a disease. So what is it going on? There would be no ISKCON gurus if there were no GBC to appoint the governing body commission. And the governing body commission, Prabhupada ordered, and they signed up to the order, and they disobeyed the order that the GBC is to be elected every 3 years by temple presidents. The temple presidents elect the GBC. So if the temple presidents elect the GBC, how could GBCs for 3 years appoint gurus? That whole guru thing comes out of the unelected GBC, who have made themselves exactly like the what you call the cardinals of the Catholic Church.
Yes.
In unelected
And
bodies.
Prabhuji,
Yes. Go ahead.
yes, one like I have heard in one lecture, like Prabhupada were against this election system, which is currently going on in ISKCON for selecting the gurus. And they have made, like, just like you mentioned, they have made it like a Catholic Church election system.
They have. I'm not quite sure I understand what you said, though. You're speaking very nicely.
Prabhuji, I said that I heard in one lecture that Prabhupada was against this system of GBC, where they'll select the guru on the they were selecting gurus on the basis of this voting system.
Well,
and he once abolished the GBC also.
We have a document that Prabhupada created with a bunch of devotees, and in it he names the first 12 GBCs, and it clearly states that the GBCs act for 3 years, and they have to come from the temple presidents, and when the temple presidents, after 3 years, they go back and become temple president again. It's not like GBC is their permanent designation. You see? So,
right, Prabhuji.
So this is a crime against Prabhupada to have unelected GBCs. They wanted to control, and the only way they could control is by becoming absolute. Absolute control.
I read that stealing taxes has a greater reaction than stealing from a brahmana. So this is like a really serious offense.
Stealing what?
Taxes. Raj.
Like, you mean when the
that is in different context, Prabhu.
Who said that?
I read it. I read it in so it's written, translated by Srila Prabhupada.
Achha. Well, I don't know how it works or what the context is or what it means, but if you steal from a brahmana, A Brahmana doesn't own, chooses not to own anything. So if you steal from a Brahmana, the Brahmana will not feel that you've stolen from him. If you steal from the government taxes, well, the government will suffer as a result.
Okay, so there's another question by a devotee here. I wanted to ask, there are some groups like ISKCON Bangalore, ISKM, or other such temples that give initiation on behalf of Prabhupada. Can he comment about them? I think he has said about initiation. Narayan Prabhu has talked about initiation of the Ritvik, the temple pujari doing that initiation on behalf of Srila Prabhupada, that you become a disciple of Prabhupada, not that you worship the Ritvik or the temple president or whoever.
Let's try to drop the word Ritvik, because I'm not that fond of tumult, Krishna.
Okay, try. Any more?
Yes.
Any more
you're
realizations?
you're making an extremely good point. So why not continue your point?
Yes, go ahead. Someone was saying something. Yes, go
Hare
ahead.
Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes.
Actually, recently one devotee told, and I have read in the letter of Srila Prabhupada to Madhudvesha Prabhu, that is, he's mentioning that in India, street Sankirtana is looked as cheap. That's why we need to get the big donors to build the temples. So actually, I asked this question to our temple devotee. Why are we not doing those preaching like a street Sankirtana, or not vigorous distribution? Only book distribution is only done during the December, January, that time only, during book month time only. They are not doing in remaining days. In remaining days, they are keeping some employees, bro, to do that. So that's why when I asked this question, Prabhupada told that in street Sankirtana in India is looked as cheap. That's why we need to collect the big donors. That's why we are using that Akshay Patra for collecting the big donors. In this way, we are satisfying the Prabhupada's dream. So, and one more example they told, when we build a temple, for book distribution, we can only sell the 10 books of Bhagavad Gita. But for when we build a big temple, every day we can sell some thousands of books. So in this way, we are satisfying. Like that I told, bro. Actually, my question is that, is it really that street Sankirtana is not necessary in India, bro? And that is actually my question, bro.
Haribo Mahaprabhu. You are muted.
Bro?
Mahaprabhu is here.
I went to go visit my father.
Okay, so regarding your question, Chaitanya Prabhu.
We have a wonderful group,
yes, bro,
including a saintly person named Diksha.
Jai. So, yes, go ahead. Someone was going to say something.
Prabhu, may I ask one question more?
Go ahead, yes.
Prabhu, like they are those who are taking diksha from the ISKCON leaders now, and they are not following the exact order of Srila Prabhupada. So, what will happen? Will they be able to go back to Godhead or not?
That's a simple answer to a very interesting question. If they have heard the holy name of Krishna once, and if they're living in a temple and taking initiation, they have kirtan every single day for hours and hours. They're going to go back to Godhead, not because of the guru, but because of the kirtan. And why the kirtan? Because it was delivered by Prabhupada. Prabhupada delivered the holy name, not the guru in the temple.
But Prabhuji, like there is one statement.
Well, I was going to mention, hold your question and then say it. I'm not trying to stop you. But the ISKCON gurus in the temple are not necessary, because they cannot, to be an ISKCON guru, or to be any sort of guru, you have to be an Uttama Adhikari. Spiritual master means Uttama Adhikari, means from Krishna Loka. These people are not. They are Kanista or Madhyam Adhikaris. They're not even Madhyam. They're Kanista Adhikaris, just like you and me, but they've taken the role of guru because they have good management skills or something of that sort. It's more of a corporate thing than a spiritual thing. So you don't need the ISKCON gurus to go back to Godhead. And if you follow, oh yeah, here's what I was going to say. If you link yourself up with an ISKCON guru and live your life for that guru, the way we lived our lives for Prabhupada, you will go to wherever that guru goes at the time of death. If he doesn't go back to Godhead, just realize that you're not going back to Godhead either. If he goes to hell, then you're going to have to serve him in hell. That's why it's a mistake to worship someone other than Uttama Adhikari. Okay, now what were you going to say?
Yes, Prabhuji, exactly this. This is what Srila Prabhupada mentioned in his Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 7, verse 14, that leaders who have fallen into the ignorance and who mislead people by directing them to the path of destruction, as described in previous verse, are in effect boarding a stone boat, and so too are those who blindly follow them. A stone boat would be unable to float and would sink in water with its passenger. Similarly, those who mislead people go to hell and their followers go with them.
Yes. That's brilliant. That's wonderful.
So, Prabhu, I have just one more question following the same question.
Okay, why not respond to what Diksha, we want to hear your, but why not respond to Diksha's statement, Ramachandra or somebody, or Rupa, Manjari?
Okay, there's something about that. It's that the eternally fallen souls and the eternally liberated souls, it's always that the eternally fallen souls actually get the opportunity to get the mercy of the liberated souls.
Yes, but
So,
that means
yeah,
if you hear the holy name of Krishna once,
fallen is actually
if you hear
really
Prabhupada chanting Hare
special
Krishna,
term
you're going to go back
in
to
this
Godhead.
context, because
You don't. There
that-
are no Uttamadhikaris.
the
There are no
existence
bona
of
fide gurus.
such fallen conditioned souls. Pardon, I mean, I'm in the middle of a sentence here. Okay, so
Your voice is not clear,
the
Prabhu.
existence of those fallen conditioned souls actually had connection, but so this.
If anyone wants a guru, they should go and join a Hindu religion somewhere, because the Hindu religion is gone down to Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya dissolved the Hindu religion, but needless to say, it kept on coming down until now. India is full of Hindus, or people, they call themselves Hindus, which isn't quite accurate either, because it means Indus River, but they've come down, these gurus and these traditions of these Brahmins without any qualification to deliver the people that they initiate. So if you want a guru, go to pick one of them. If you want to deliver the fallen souls and go back to Godhead yourself, pick Prabhupada. You don't need a guru after Prabhupada, because there's nothing for that guru to do.
So,
Yes, Prabhuji.
Prabhu, I was just asking one question following to the same question that Mataji asked. So,
Who's
if
speaking?
for the
Who's speaking?
this is Vinayak again. Okay, so Prabhu, like for the formality's sake, like if we want to do preaching, so if we take an initiation from ISKCON, so but within our hearts we are accepting Srila Prabhupada as our spiritual master.
You can go to an ISKCON temple and live in an ISKCON temple. You don't have to take initiation. Initiation occurs when you ask for it, not when they tell you you have to do it. How can you tell someone, now you have to become initiated? Initiation is your willingness to accept that person as your spiritual master. So why do it? You don't need to be, you can live in this gun temple and not take, or they may tell you you can't, in which case they'll kick you out. But in principle, you can. I mean, how can you not? Why can't you be there? And also, if you're in an ISKCON temple, you may be there initiated by a different ISKCON guru in a different temple somewhere else. That happens in Los Angeles. That's all the time. There's half a dozen or a dozen disciples or people that were initiated by gurus all over the world, Russia, Romania, France, wherever they are, and they come there and nobody kicks them out.
And
You know, so you
yeah,
don't have to worry about getting initiated or not getting initiated.
yeah, Prabhu. And one
All you have to, if you don't owe anyone an explanation. So if it came down to it, and somebody says, "Well, you can't stay in this temple unless you accept the guru," say, "Well, I do accept the guru, but I haven't been initiated by him yet." And you say, "Well, who's the guru? You see it connected with this guy?" "Oh, yes." But then tell me who it is. "No, I choose not to tell you who it is because it's Prabhupada. And they may not like it if you want to worship Prabhupada."
that's why, like, just because, like, you gave an answer to Mataji that we can be in ISKCON, we can, no matter like a devotee, if he has taken initiation from anybody, but if he is chanting, then his liberation and he can go back to Godhead. But if
You're going
he,
to go back to Godhead with or without the ISKCON guru. If you go and follow a ISKCON guru very slavishly, you will slow you down going back to Godhead because you go to where the guru went.
yeah, like, but if after taking initiation, if we are not following the guru, like we follow Srila Prabhupada, but we are
Oh, you mean if you do take initiation from an ISKCON guru, well, you can renounce that initiation.
Okay, so like for formality sake, someone can take initiation.
I don't recommend it. There's no need for it. What for?
And
Say, are you initiated right now?
no, Prabhu, like not formally, but
So what is your first name?
huh?
What is your name? Your first name? Namki.
It is Vinayaka.
Vinayatra?
Vinayak, yeah.
Then you could say my spiritual name is Vinodyatra and let somebody argue with it. I mean, you can, unless you get an initiation with a representative of, or there's so many people that are giving initiations, supposedly at least, Ritvik initiations. Ramachandra, what is the name of that devotee we keep talking with?
His name Navayogendra Swami?
Navayogendra Swami, yes. You can take initiation from Navayogendra Swami as a disciple of Prabhupada. Or, you see, we're in a transitional period. There has to be a time coming soon when people recognize that you're not going to make more spiritual advancement by taking initiation from an unqualified guru, an unnecessary guru. We're on a transitional thing, so we shouldn't jump at anything right now. Let's play our cards right and see what happens in the end.
I had a question. I was wondering, during the time that Daiva Varnashram Dharma becomes these isolation away from like a wasteland, is there going to be Sankirtan going out on the streets?
There can, but it depends on the size of the Varnashram community. I personally am not looking at making a whole nation into Varnashram society because I can't even imagine how you could do it. But it would be possible to get 10,000 acres of fertile land with water on it get some desi cows from India with humps on their backs, high as best breed as you can get, and in those 2,000 people, they'll be going to the Jagannath temple. Lord Jagannath will own the whole land, and every day you go to the Jagannath temple and worship Jagannath's kirtan there. Everybody in the whole community, all 2,000, can come to the Jagannath temple. You have to make a big enough temple, and they will be chanting together. And then they go out and work, and they can be chanting when they're working. Then you can also have Sankirtan parties wandering around through the community. But remember, it'll be sort of like a commune. It'll be a village. And it's not that we're going to be going out from the Varnashram community into New York City necessarily, although we could. If it's easy to do, we could do it. But we'd have to go by ox cart, which might take time.
Oh, I also want to mention that I'm kind of living that lifestyle right now. I'm in North
You're
Texas.
living what?
Living that lifestyle. I'm in
You're
North
living
Texas.
Well, that's wonderful. I think. Is it wonderful?
Yeah.
It is wonderful.
That's great.
Right. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 devotees online today. So that's
This
a
is wonderful. We
Right.
started out not thinking anyone was going to come.
Yeah.
Now so many are coming.
Yeah.
Come on, join with us, not under us. Nobody is under anybody here, but you are above me. So come and let me worship your lotus feet.
Right.
Let's join together and exclaim the pastimes of Krishna. But in Istagosthi, we're sorting out what to do next to deliver the fallen souls. Our basic idea is that in the remainder of the, stemming from Lord Chaitanya, it's the golden age of Kali. He came as Radharani, in the mood of Radharani to understand Radharani's devotion. She immediately encourages us all to chant the holy name of Krishna, hear it once, you go back to Godhead. But in Krishna Loka, there's no time. So if it may take 1,000,000 years down or 10,000 lifetimes down here, but in Krishna Loka, you're already back in Krishna Loka, but your body is and your mind are wandering around, not realizing it yet. And that's what sadhana bhakti is for, is to align you, the soul, with the fact that you're already going back to Godhead. Then the best way to do that is to engage everyone else, all creatures, animals, bugs, worms, plants, and even human beings, although they're a tough sell. So that's what we're doing here, and we welcome you.
Hare Krishna.
Please join. I'm not smart enough, but you may be smart enough. I want your ideas. I already know my ideas. Then bring your ideas out, and we'll work. That's Istagosthi, where we encounter each other soul to soul, jiva to jiva, not jiva in a body to another jiva in a body, talking about things that only bodies are interested in. Well, bodies aren't interested in anything, but the jiva in a body is interested in things for the body. So let's not do that.
Okay.
Yes.
So we're coming to about 10 o'clock. So we got about 8 minutes before we cut out. So I'd like to thank all the devotees for joining from all over the world. This is an amazing.
Did everyone get to say something?
One last
Let's
question.
use our last 8 minutes, making sure that each person that came on can say something.
Yes, go ahead.
Prabhu, one question was that, a devotee one was mentioning about the no initiation theory, that holy name would work. Holy name can give certain advancement in spiritual life, but for people who are not initiated, they can advance till a point. But
They can
beyond,
become initiated, but the temple president can initiate you. not the guru sitting there. You don't want to be initiated by someone who's not initiating you for Prabhupada, because then you have to go where that guru goes. Do you really want to go where they go? Some of them go to some pretty nasty places when they blow.
Yeah, I understood that, Prabhu. But one devotee, like from who was initiating on behalf of Srila Prabhupada, so he was saying this thing that in order to elevate more in a spiritual platform, we must require a formal initiation process from Srila Prabhupada or into this sampradaya.
Oh yes, of course, and why not?
Yeah, because the no initiation process, in no initiation process, we can advance till a particular platform. But for advancing beyond that, we need initiation. That he was saying. So
Initiation, yes, because by initiation you can become a kanista adhikari on the platform above material energy. But if you simply broadcast the holy name and don't take initiation, you're not going to lose. You're not going to lose. But if you want to become fixed as a Vaishnava, then yes, take initiation. Why not? I did.
Hmm.
And you can take initiation from my spiritual master too, which not everyone feels they can do.
Okay, so Jai, we got 3 more minutes. Oh no,
Okay,
5 more minutes.
so eight
Who's next?
people, 8 individual people have not spoken. So how many people are missed?
Pratik Prabhu.
Yes, Pratik Prabhu, you can unmute. I'm trying to unmute you, so you can say a few words before we cut out.
And I want to especially thank Diksha Prabhu. Want to welcome her into our group, which she can look at as if she wishes, as a extension of her family. And we want to hear what she has to say, because she is right on chapter, right on verse, and right on Siddhanta. So we like to hear Diksha Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, yes, I would like to see. It's just a few months, and I've been exploring, and I've been hearing lectures and where Srila Prabhupada said what and how we should see. So, what really I feel, or what I have realized, that we should accept the spiritual master order as it is. We should not question as to how, when, and what. So whatever he has said, whatever he has marketed, we should follow that, keeping because we are serving his lotus feet. We have no right to ask or condemn or ask argue with him. We don't have any kind of right. He is delivering us from this fallen condition, so there is no question of that.
That would indicate, wouldn't it, that we should reject the unelected GBC, because Prabhupada's instruction was it must be elected every 3 years. So if there's unelected GBC, we can say to them, you're out of line.
Right.
You have stolen, and you have pirated, and you have offended Prabhupada by becoming unelected. Now it's time to be elected or stand down in shame.
Right, Prabhuji.
So, Diksha Prabhu, thank you. And please continue to bring your observations back by chapter and verse of the Srimad Bhagavatam and other Shastras, because it's so important for us to always be grounded in what Prabhupada wrote.
Yes, Prabhuji. I have no right, but the lectures that I have attended, only those people have they have given us this insight as to how to read those Srila Prabhupada's book, and how to find those answers to each and every question.
Yes. What more? That's why he wrote the books. For that reason.
Right, Prabhuji.
Yeah, and I just thought I should mention, you know, you can always get Prabhupada's unedited, unchanged books.
Right.
Are you reading them in Hindi or Lucknow?
Prabhuji, I'm reading in English and Hindi both.
Very good.
But at least the English ones, you can get them online, only unchanged books, not the ones the BBT is pushing out. So Ramachandra here is an expert in these books.
Right.
He
All right.
sells only unchanged books. So he can guide you how to get books if you don't already have unchanged books. But maybe all your
Yeah.
books are unchanged books.
Yes, Prabhuji. And how Prabhuji will how can I get them?
Okay, are you joined up in our WhatsApp group? You can join the WhatsApp group. It's in the video description, and you can just click in, and then we can show you where you can get it, where the original books are. And
Yes, Prabhuji,
and
but
the
I was
WhatsApp
unable
group-
to join that WhatsApp group via that YouTube.
okay, so
League for 10K.
can you send me a phone number and I'll add you? Do you have WhatsApp?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, yes. Please send me a phone number and I'll add you to that group.
Okay. Okay, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
You're-
Thank you so much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hi, thank you very much.
Whatever good it may produce, you're now one of us, and we're with you.
Hare Krishna. Jai, we're at 10 o'clock, so thank you very much to all the devotees for attending, and what a lively discussion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 devotees joined, and a lot of people are watching our videos on Facebook and YouTube, so let's keep the discussions going, questions coming in, and sharing our realizations, and then everything will be glorious.
Haribol.
Yeah, things are becoming glorious by the second.
Yeah.
Haribol.
Okay, so I'll end it here, Prabhus. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Good
Hare
night.
Krishna. And by the way, we don't speculate. Everything we say, if it has to be according to Guru Shastra Sadhu. We don't make anything up or try to sell an idea. We are just discovering ideas that people haven't thought of, but they're there. They're right there in Prabhupada's writing, as you did, Diksha Prabhu. You came up with. And also Matthew, who's not Matthew anymore. Yes, we have. You came up with Shastra, so that's what we're looking for. We're looking for Siddhanta, meaning conclusion, from the Diksha, from the point of view of the Jiva, Jiva to Jiva, and let the bodies take a vacation for 2 hours every 3 days a week.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.